Hello everyone, this is Greyshot17
and Greyshot151 here.
And today we're going over the patch notes. So instead of a normal Switch 2 video, we're going to be having a more in-depth discussion about the patch, what we like, what we don't like, and going over each of the commanders.
Because there was a lot to talk about with this patch.
Yes, and just to give a hindsight, we're going to be going over and detailing every single buff of every faction, and then we're going to go over that faction, so that way, in case you're wondering how this is going to go. We're not going to read the whole thing, we're going to go part by part.
You mean foresight, but sure, yes.
Yeah. Any case, first off, we have the Usf Urban Assault. That's a new doctrine that is made.
Every faction in Company of Heroes 2 received a new commander, and there's obviously tweaks that occurred with that, but starting off with the United States commander.
Okay, so first off, this commander gets rear echelon rifle grenades.
Great addition, because it turns a unit that basically was useless, minus being... because you can't blob these suckers anymore. At least you couldn't originally.
Yes.
Like the glory blobs of rear echelon descending upon the map.
Jump into the gun because I was going to explain it first, and then you can explain it.
Darn it.
But the rear echelons can be upgraded with these rifle grenades.
Yes.
They are automatic, which is what they're saying. They require 60 munitions. You don't get minesweepers. Their AoE damage versus the standard one is not as powerful.
Yeah.
But it's still pretty damn good. They still have a decent, again, they still do decent damage even in cover.
Yep.
And then when suppressed scatter penalty applied, yes, of course. And then take up one weapon slot, so you can only pick up one bar or bazooka. So, and then of course with this, you also get the Riflemen incendiary grenade, so they essentially get Molotov cocktails, but they're not like waiting to throw it and then eventually throw it.
It's a little bit faster, yeah, it makes sense. Americans, you know, we know our baseball, we got a good throwing arm.
Exactly.
You know. Soviets, they just don't know how to throw things. Like, what are you gonna throw? Alcohol? They were attached to it. Yeah. They're like, this is supposed to be mine.
This is my, it's like, Joe, I should let go. But overall, I really like this ability, and this ability itself makes it so you have this slow push with your echelons and make them very, very good. Honestly, they're good support troops. If you give them bazookas to support in case armor comes in, you keep them behind your frontline riflemen. Yeah. And all the riflemen, even though you might have a few less because you have your echelon, they're doing the fighting. You have these random rifle grenades being thrown at.
Well, it's good because when these suckers, they hold out. If you put them in heavy cover, and let's say I had Obosodon charging, and this was on a stream game, charging, and they were in heavy cover, and these grenades were doing some serious damage while it was in cover. So it really helps knock out enemies that are in place, which I think is a good function for the echelon to have, because otherwise they really didn't have anything minus volley fire and smoke. Yep. And the others are good, but they're not like good enough to use all the time.
Yeah. So next up is the M43 Assault Package, which essentially gives the Sherman a bulldozer attachment front. Yes. But it also gives them white phosphorus shots.
That's the better of the two of the things.
Here's the thing, though. You don't have to sacrifice the armor piercing. You still get that. So it doesn't have the shot where it gets shot a little bit longer. This shot is essentially just like a normal explosive round or something like that. But in any case, the armor is increased. The health is increased. And yeah, they can still fire the white phosphorus round,
which is good. The white phosphorus is powerful. Like if only it was in a commander that had better things with it. The white phosphorus drop. Yeah, it makes that commander. So having this ability, even if it's just minor, does make the commander that much more attractive.
Can we also say the fact that this also allows for the bulldozer to pretty much be like further removed, because now it has even less features that make
armor company now becomes that much less, well, that much worse.
Yeah. So cover to cover, it drops 3 smoke shells at the target location. Infantry within 60 meters of the ability will sprint for 20 seconds. So essentially it makes it, if there's something there, drop smoke and you run. Essentially it's a continuation of the smoke shells you get with actually the other doctrine that has rangers, the heavy cavalry. And then this also has rangers, which again are great. They also have the bazooka teams as well, which are fantastic. So you can load them up, or you know, give them Thompsons, however you want to go. They are more expensive, but you can see here the cost was reduced down to 350, so now they're not as expensive. Next up, we have the Calliope.
The biggest update, I will say easily, is the
Calliope. It's a lot better. The scatter and damage is far better. You see far AoE damage from 0.15 to 0.25, so they increase damage. The cost is not as bad. They decrease the fuel. Reload is not nearly as bad. And the AoE is increased. The health, though, has been brought down.
Which makes sense. For if you're going to buff it, you need that counterbalance.
Yeah.
But still, it's an armored artillery piece. So now, if you want something that's going to live, you have a lot of artillery coming down. Yeah. This sucker is actually now viable. To the point where it used to be like, Now it's like, okay, I can actually see myself wanting to get a Calliope if my allies can maybe get Su-85s or Fireflies. Like, we can now switch it up instead of me getting the Jackson and you know what I mean? Like, now there's actually some more viability in doing different strategies, which is awesome. That's one thing a strategy game should also always strive for.
And also, rear echelons, again, the volley fire ability is having its accuracy penalty reduced. So there's that. Pathfinders.
You don't want to make them too good.
Now start on initial cooldown.
Yep.
And it's 18 to 20. That's smarter because Pathfinders were something like, I don't think they should be able to deploy as quickly.
Yeah.
And then, nice with veterancy. And then passengers in vehicles accuracy from 50% to 40%. I think the light vehicles, maybe they're overperforming a little bit too much, so they've decreased the accuracy.
Just a minor thing, but yeah, it makes sense.
Okay, so overall, I think the American doctrine, if we had to put like a level, and this is like bad, okay, good, great, amazing.
Let's just go letter grades. Let's just go to the letter grades.
No, that's good. Yeah. So again, S tier down to F.
I would definitely mark this as probably a B.
Yes,
it's not
B.
average. It's not great, but it's a good, solid commander, and that's what the Americans kind of needed. Because they have a lot of good commanders, and this just is another good commander you can use.
And this can be good in all scenarios. I see this going 1v1s, especially in like the rear echelon's fire. Yeah. The rear echelon blob is now back with this thing.
The rear echelon, maybe not a blob, but you can use these suckers now to support your infantry way better than any other unit. Like mortar howitzers, like I would take one of these over a mortar howitzer because it's always behind your infantry.
So I was literally having my troops be around the bush, and they were firing 3 grenades out onto a constant battle. And again, that doesn't sound like a lot, but the damage enough was able to make it so my 2 riflemen were holding against 4 Panzerfusiliers. So that difference enough was pretty amazing. So.
And it's free. Like it's like 60
it's automatic too. You don't even have to do anything. It's automatic.
Yep.
So that's why that is pushed up to a B. Now we have the British, and this is where maybe things start going down. They get assault sections, which essentially gives them equivalent to Thompsons and Sten guns, so they're better close range. They received accuracy is -5%. They only get one more, locks out the other infantry section upgrade, so it takes up one and also takes up 1 weapon slot. And use is still affected by bolster squad, so again, you can still get the 3-man,
which I think is needed, especially with the going on further. You have these grenades and such, or not the grenades, but you have the guns and such. For close range, because that's the thing with the British. You don't have
Royal Engineers are pretty good close range,
they're
Commandos are good. Commandos are great close range.
They are, but now you have another option for your base infantry. Like if you don't go that commander,
these can hold back Sturms. I'll give them that. They'll hold back Sturms pretty easily. They also, and I'm gonna go over all of this before I give a final thing on this doctrine. You get an 81mm mortar team.
It's just the American.
Its range is so small.
It's the American mortar, right?
Small.
It's just. It's literally, same mortar as the United States mortar. It's just the U.S. mortar.
You get M5 half-track.
The same as the Soviet mortar.
It's the Soviet half-track, not mortar. And see Soviet section. The vehicle crew repair, same ability from mobile assault, again, stuff like that. So essentially, they just drop smoke and you heal. And then you get the M10 Achilles, which is an M10. Same stats as the USF M10. I know a lot of people are like, oh, we're getting an Achilles, and there's some variants in the Achilles with a 17-pounder. It can be affected by hammer tactics, trafficking, but not war speed. And then can be built by company command post. Great.
Yeah, it would be good. But the thing is about this is so far as you can pretty much see, you're not getting anything great. You're kind of just getting, yes, the British now get
here's
Thompsons,
some American forces.
The Achilles, M10, or it's basically Wolverine.
You get the M5 half-track like the Soviets. It's, or like, again, because the Soviet equivalent. So overall, I think this doctrine...
Vehicle recruit pairs, like, that's British specific,
but good in 1v1s. People complain about the British and having mortars, which I don't understand. You have literally artillery that you can throw from... like, 40 munition artillery you throw to your base, and also your mortar pits. And then, of course, you can call in an infantry section and stuff like that. I get the idea that it's like, I don't have artillery of this variety. And great, you now have it, but I think the other two things covered it. And also, I think that eventually, like after like 10 minutes, a mortar is a mortar. It's just going to become irrelevant compared to rocket artillery.
I guess overall, well, actually, we'll keep going.
If this is the okay, real quick over this commander. If this is everything you get, this is easily the weakest British commander, except for people point this out, and I will recommend 1v1s.
Yeah.
In a 1v1 environment, having infantry section being better, if you want to go better close range, having M10s, I could see that need for that. Great.
But in a 3v, we're specialized in 3v3, 4v4.
I would not recommend
and
anyone.
This is,
no.
There's nothing to support your teammates. Everything
There's no
is
call-in abilities. There's no, example, if the Achilles you got an upgrade that makes it call-in additional artillery fire or something, or like any sort of call-in, any sort of special abilities, any sort of like buff for zones, like the Achilles provides support for your infantry, like an additional, like something like that, maybe, but none of that's here. The M5 half track is just a half track, and while you could say the quad car is the best AA gun, you still have a Centaur and Bofors, and both of them are fine.
Yeah, it's kind of meh overall, and I'd probably give it like a C. Like, it's not inherently bad, but it's bad because there's nothing supportive, there's nothing new. It has one classification that can be good at, which is 1v1s.
Yes.
And other than that, it's just kind of average.
I would agree. So with the 6-pounder, it removes its 50% accuracy against light vehicles. Makes sense if the Royal Engineers took that.
Yeah.
Universal Carrier, front armor has been decreased and self-repair is a little bit more. Makes sense. It was overperforming.
I'd agree, yeah.
Infantry section, minimum range has been added to match other grenade abilities. Mill bombs now have a minimum range of 3. Okay.
I approve of that. Those bombs are so good. I'll take a little bit extra oomph.
Yeah, but yeah, no, that's fine. Overall, I think that this is the weakest. Had to give it a letter grade, I'd probably say a D. Like, it's not F, but
I'd give it a C because it's 1v1 potential, but yeah, no, it's
I just see compared to everything, there's nothing
in a 3v3 or 4v4 environment, it's a solid D. But in a 1v1 environment or in general, C, it's not terrible.
I just unless you're really focusing
unless
on
you're really desperate for those things.
The Achilles Achilles spam might be the only thing I see, but like I said, I'm not seeing a lot of potential from this compared. We'll get to some of the other ones.
Oh, we're about to get to it right
now.
Because
the British one fills a need that's incredibly small, and again, people are like,
very
I want the
niche.
mortar. It's like, cool, you got the mortar. The Soviet Airborne does something for the Soviets that fundamentally changes the game. And this is why, this is either before even going over this, I love this doctrine. So what this commander goes over is it requires 1 CP point, and you can drop in a little box that comes down.
Yes.
45 munitions, I think. Yeah. And essentially it gives penals, SVT, rifles to conscripts, or gives every
PPSHs
to shock troops. I'm sorry, you're right. Of shock troops to penals. So essentially it makes them mini shock troops.
They are amazing. I have used them, and they can destroy Sturms. They are so good.
Also, it only takes up 1 weapon slot, even though every single unit model inside the unit has a PPSH.
Yeah.
So you can give it the anti-tank rifle
just to give it that extra
and you can throw satchels on vehicles. I was so like, oh, they got the upgrade for PPSHs, I'll be fine. No, not at all. This thing will literally mess up your men.
Penals with this upgrade, I'm no joke, will win Reinforced Forest by like the forest in that map by itself.
Yeah.
Like, it is glorious.
Also, you can give them the engineers, and they still get the flamethrower and minesweeper. Essentially, just buffing your Soviet men for 45 munitions. That's it.
Not only that, but okay, you can't give this to your teammates. But if you have another Soviet on your team, they can pick it up too.
If they pick it up, they just get 45 munitions.
Yeah.
But that being said, you can give to other Soviets.
Yeah, which is, if they don't have it, you're giving them a major buff. Like, conscripts with this upgrade, we'll go into like the other stuff that conscripts change, but like this is fantastic.
This is good support.
Make them actually like viable against Volk, against Grenadiers, against so much.
You can drop an Adushka for 125 manpower and 50 munitions. That's cheap.
Yeah, the arc isn't great, but oh my god, this sucker will shred infantry.
Yep.
You have something like Red Ball Express where you have 1 corridor, or like maybe more like building maps. Yeah, this sucker will hold down a point and murder the infantry.
Its pen and the arc, is a little bit bigger, and the pen's more like the 50 cal, but still the Adushka is great. The airborne rally point's also something that's fundamentally changes the game. It makes a forward base, which you have to build a mechanized building in order to make a retreat point. But you can also call in a medical box so that way you can heal your men. So you could heal, you can retreat to it. The retreat thing is free. It doesn't cost anything to retreat. You just build it, and it's cheap as hell. This also provides it's 100 manpower and 15 fuel, so it's not expensive compared to like the British forward base, especially because it's 200 for that and then 200 for the next one.
Yeah.
And then also, was it? Oh yeah, it has a decent amount of health and even a little bit of armor.
Just a smidge, but yeah, it's just the fact that you can do it makes the Soviet. It gives the Soviets like more staying power.
Yeah.
Which is this is a very infantry focused doctrine.
Yeah.
So being able to push your infantry farther against and harder against the front lines and faster against the front line is so valuable.
Then we have the Airborne Guards, and they cost 360 manpower, so essentially like normal guards.
Yes.
But here's the big thing. So there is an issue where they were supposed to be called in, like via paratrooper drop, but they couldn't get the animation down, which that's fine. So they can be called into the field or deployed from neutral ambient buildings like stormtroopers. Due to, again, this is all due to an animation error. They couldn't call them in.
Yep.
Anyway, so we also have equipped with SVTs and special grenades.
It's like a basic grenade. It's nothing. Yeah.
And there's a cooldown, so you can't just deploy them and chuck the grenade. We're past that part of CH2.
The fact that it can be upgraded in neutral enemy territory means you can get these behind front lines, upgrade to like the close quarters, like the close quarter guns, and then you just slaughter the support equipment. It's fantastic.
Also, they have a Vet 1 ability where they can call in an IL-2 and strafe the location so that way the enemy is suppressed. Doesn't do real much damage, but it will suppress them.
Yeah, and people run. People don't understand, like, again, I use this on, the best example is Leon Forest. I was fighting a gentleman who had his own blobs. Yeah. The Panzer Grenadiers, and that she was trying out the new commander himself. And he had probably like 4 or 5 units. I just called this one sucker down and he ran. Which is, like, for one unit, like, that's not even equipped to my commander to just call it down and stop this blob was just amazing.
Yep.
You can't do it from a distance away, but still, the fact you can call that in is amazing.
So also, they have an upgrade of DP. So of course you get 3 DPs for 100. So that makes them, DPs are better against armor and infantry alike. So that
longer
helps.
range. Yeah.
And then also, they can be equipped with PPSHs. So congratulations.
For free.
Yep.
For free.
And also, you can get smoke with them. So you can throw smoke to have them advance.
Yeah, they're basically shock troops at this point. Shock troops you put behind the enemy lines. Like, shock troops, the advantage is surprise. That is what they're best at. And this is like taking that to the next extreme.
And then finally, we have the IL-2 rocket strafe. This thing is like the AT strafe that the Wehrmacht have, where you can call it in, it does a strafe, but it comes in pretty quick. The thing about this, though, is A, it's incredibly powerful. I've seen it kill any sort of rocket artillery, even medium armor.
Stukas, Panzerwerfers,
even like Panzer IVs. It, like, a lot of times what we'll do with these, it's not really good against buildings or infantry or bunkers, so don't really use them against that. What we'll do is we'll literally just call it in to keep something pinned or like from retreating. Because they'll see it and they'll be like, I can't back up yet, and then we'll just keep fighting that armor. It's
if you like snare the tank and take out the engine, you call this down and it's basically weakens it to the point where you can get that final shot in.
It's only 100 munitions. That's the big thing. It's only 100 munitions. It is 10 CP like the AT strafe, but it's only 100, so that's great.
Definitely a more munition heavy commander.
Yes.
But overall, it is easily worth the investment you get from all of these things.
But like each of these things is so unique and different compared to what the other Soviets have. You just compare this to the British one, and
it's night and day.
And yeah, it's night and day. Why this one is upper tier in my book, like an A, honestly an A tier.
Didn't you look these guys like the airborne up for like the Soviets, and didn't you find out they were like horribly?
Oh yeah, there was some Soviet airborne, but the ones I looked up got massacred in Russia. So
yeah, they were trying to take like a river and they just got murdered. So this commander lives up far better than the reputation of the actual Soviet airborne.
Yeah.
But so overall for this commander, I'd probably give it. It's personally my favorite new commander of the bunch, but I'd probably give it an A. I completely agree. It's not.
It's not perfect.
It's not perfect, but it's powerful.
Yes, it's incredibly good. Because then it opens up the Soviets to rocket strafes on your retreat point, other things. So
speaking of better,
but that's again risk reward.
Yeah. Speaking of upgrades, though, Conscripts got a nice buff.
And this is, if the Conscript upgrade was for this commander, it would be S tier, but it's A tier right now because this is just free for everyone uses.
Well, it's a 50 munition upgrade. But every Soviet player gets it, which you get 1 extra man, and they're cheaper to
resupply.
Yeah.
Also, again, it does take up weapon slots, so that is an issue.
Yeah.
And then so that is an issue. But again, you get 7-man squads. It's great.
Yep.
And then they also get conscripts, AT grenades. It's cheaper. The Maxim
Molotov is cheaper.
The Maxim now has a better suppression. The M43 anti-tank grenade, let's see, canister shots a little bit cheaper, and the cost is a little bit more expensive.
A little bit.
Yeah, I
unique,
get
but-
that if used correctly. I still don't really care for this because I mean it's more just this thing is more anti-infantry.
Yep.
But it's fine. Yeah, I'm glad they didn't make it a laughing stock. It's now just okay.
Can I just make a note that this is just like
What,
the
this?
next no, the M5 half track buff.
Oh, it's cheaper, and then it's definitely
It's accuracy, its duration, its cost, everything.
It's a
This
lot
was
better.
already one of my favorite units in the game, and it just got a increase because in a 4v4 3v3 setting, when the enemy has a lot of air power, you can use this to knock out. You can basically shut down the any type of airstrike or minus the Stuka bomb, but like
Yep.
you know what I mean, like recons, all that such. And now it's just that much better because now it's better against infantry, which is probably the weakest thing it was against.
Yeah.
And it's cheaper, so no arguments there.
Yeah, and yeah, so SU-76 getting a little buff against lighter, nerf against heavier, that makes sense. And then the M5 Assault half-track is...
Just make the Stug farm, like that
yeah, it's
Stug
been
card that
changed
much
as
more
well.
prevalent.
Because if this got changed, this is going to be changed.
Yeah.
So overall, I think positive on the Soviet.
Yes.
Overall, everything's positive. Now we're getting to the Germans. This is where we haven't really talked about anything we would change.
Yes.
And I think in the Germans one is something that fundamentally does need changed.
Yes.
There is a couple key things, and we'll get into that.
Oh yeah. So let's get to the Wehrmacht.
So we get first off with their commander. We have Assault Grenadiers. They have been slightly buffed. So they now have again. It's harder
Better
to hit.
accuracy. They
Yep.
now have a little upgrade in regards to like what they can do.
Yeah, they get an upgrade, better overall, a little more effective, and their upgrade is I think 6-man squads. And it's just a lot more devastating. Then you have mobile observation post, which makes a half track. You essentially can detect stuff from different areas.
Yeah, launch arty flares, things of that nature.
Yes.
It's good in support. That's
Yeah.
basically what it is. It's good. It's a nice little support thing. But we're starting to get to the actual
Breakthrough. Panzer Grenadiers can throw smoke grenades, so they can
Yeah.
get through a lot of defenses, which makes them a lot better for mid-late game. Pioneers can be upgraded with breakthrough as well.
Pioneers can
destroy
now
cover.
throw satchel charges.
Yeah, they can. They can throw satchels, so that makes them very good for breaking through defenses.
Yes.
And then you get a Panzer IV J. So this one is the OKW one, but this is the Wehrmacht. So it's essentially a better suited Panzer IV.
Yeah.
And it's good. It's definitely good. But my only consideration is the fact that it has the Austere Blitzkrieg, so it doesn't have the OKW bonuses that you get with that. And of course, it doesn't get like Vet 4, Vet 5. But overall, if you want a better Panzer IV, it's a good option. Yeah, it's a very good option. And you get it from the HQ, so you get it from your initial building, but it's unlocked when you hit support armor. So essentially, it's like a T-34-45, if the best way to describe it.
Now we're getting to the part where I think they might have overdid it.
Well, here's the thing. I think the base unit, the Tiger Ace, which by the way they did everything I wanted. They got rid of the fuel, negatives, and they got rid of the manpower negatives. Great. It's no longer the sucking, draining vampire it was on your manpower and fuel, especially on your fuel.
Yeah.
The thing is now is it instead it now you have to have a heavy Panzer corpse. And it no longer is Vet 1. Plus, you can deploy it multiple times. So if it dies, you can get a new one.
Yeah.
The thing about this, though, and this is kind of big, is also it gets emergency repairs. So essentially, when activated, it heals. I think it's 300 of your.
It's a lot of health.
It's a lot of health.
It's real quick.
Yeah, it costs 800 manpower and 250 fuel, so it's more expensive than a King Tiger.
Way more expensive, yeah.
But again, yeah, you can only call them one per time,
manpower-wise.
and it starts off Vet 1. So it's still a Tiger Ace, but with one veterancy, we can make it up to Vet 3 and then make it that super potential. The thing about this, though, is we tested this, and if you want to, even with one fuel, we got this out in 15 minutes. And sure, you could say, well, again, you saved up a lot of manpower, you saved up all your fuel. If the enemy pushed with armor, then you'd be in serious consequence. You're right. But at the 15-minute mark, when the allies have light vehicles, we deploy this monstrosity onto the field, literally in lines. All of us deployed these.
Just to give you an idea.
Yeah.
2 of us were Wehrmacht, 2 of us were
OKW. We haven't talked about that one, but you get a Tiger as well.
Yeah, you get a Tiger as well. And in the span, I think it was at the 17-minute mark, having only our side on Red Ball Express.
No, 16 minutes.
16 minutes.
Yeah, sorry.
We called in the 2 Tiger Aces and 2 other
OKW Tigers.
Yeah. And it was so laughably, like, we all started laughing on our own side because we realized we all called it in at the exact same, without any plan, without any, like, cooperation.
Yeah, we all did it at the exact same time.
And it was like, okay, this is
not going to go well.
This is a little broken. This is a little too early. Like,
okay.
I've called in King Tigers around, like, the 17 to 20 minute mark, but wow, okay, like, dang.
So, here's the thing. I think the Tiger itself is fine. I think it's just potent enough, just powerful enough. Maybe decrease the heal ability down from 300, maybe 150. I think that would be a little bit better.
Yeah.
And heal any crits, that's fine. My major concern about this...
calling it so early.
Yeah, or increase, make the heal ability cost more. It's 350 munitions, sorry, 35 munitions. Maybe to make it scale a little better, make it cost 60 munitions or 75, something like that.
Yep.
Make it actually, again, either cost more or heal less, because either way, it heals way too much for the little cost. Also, the issue with it is I had 6 CP when I deployed mine. Everyone else had like between 8 to 10, but this Tiger should not be able to deploy until like 13 CP.
Yeah, why is a KV-1 strapped to like you know
yeah,
what I mean?
it's
like,
8 CP, but you can deploy this thing when you have 6.
No, you can call it in whenever, but yeah, for this, how powerful it is, you need to lock it behind at least a something.
10, like something.
Yeah, it even if it's not a call.
If you rush this in, you can do a lot of damage early on. So that's my recommendation is if you're gonna, my future thing would be just put it behind a CP wall so that way the enemy can't rush this thing out, because when they do and the enemy's not suspecting it, I mean, to be fair, if you don't see armor, and it's only within the first, like, 15 minutes. If you don't see light armor, you're just thinking they're going for medium armor. You don't expect them to pull a Tiger Ace at the 15-minute mark.
Yeah.
That's insane. And like I said, we only had 1 fuel point. Like, we didn't have 2. So it wasn't...
We weren't even putting down, like, a lot of caches. Like, it was... Bam.
Oh, well, no, we started putting down fuel caches once it's like, okay, we're going to spam. Yeah.
You did, but, like, I get
we still had
OKW.
Yeah. We still had some munitions. If we wanted to go fuel, we could have gotten more fuel.
This very much seems like, this commander very much seems like, it's probably an S tier. Probably at the moment.
Right now, this is an S tier because it's so ridiculously overpowered.
Like, I mean, if you have artillery, you're golden because they have no call-ins. But, like, if you can hold the line against this thing... Go nuts with your artillery, but I mean, you have to hold against this Tiger Ace, which bounces so many shots and does so much damage. It is insane. Then you have to deal with everything behind this Tiger Ace, which is just... Any case, to the rest of the changes, Oswin got a bit of a buff.
Oswin's better.
Stu got a little bit worse.
G, okay. Whatever. Panzer Grenadiers, again, they've been changed, like mentioned before. So now they get like again, like cost a little bit less, they're a little bit more powerful. Makes sense again towards you. While you saw the Panzerschreck blob, you never really saw anything real
else.
Yeah, nothing really else from them. So it does make sense that they're going to be changed in some capacity, and this is just in general.
Now OKW Grand Offensive.
Yeah, and also that also changed the mechanized Grenadier group, so now it's 2 CP and stuff like that. So that's good. Okay, so now let's get the OKW. And like I said, I agree with you. The Wehrmacht is an A, or sorry, an S. The OKW one, you get Panzerfusiliers. Okay, this is the other thing. You can deploy them from the beginning,
which they're weaker than Volk.
Yes.
To be fair, they are weaker than Volk, but you upgrade them, and suddenly they are not weaker than Volk. In fact, I would say they are far better.
Here's the difference. They have a snare, and if you deploy these first, the allied armor, like scout cars or military trucks, are useless because they get snared.
Yep.
And it's not like, oh, they have to get close. These things fire the AT rifle grenade at very long distances.
Yeah, they have a good range to it. Not to mention the fact that once they do get upgraded, they are great at long range. So the enemy, when they're charging against you, just gets slaughtered.
Yeah.
Like, you're behind heavy cover with like 3 of these suckers, and the enemy just gets like torn to shreds by the time they get to you. And these suckers have good grenades, and they also have like their grenades have been buffed. They have AT snares. They have flares. They have so many good abilities.
Panzerschrecks.
Yes.
They get 2 Panzerschrecks for 100 munitions, but they lock out the AT and locks out G43s. Or you get the recon package, so you get G43s. It's only
I prefer the
one
G43s.
weapon slot.
Yeah.
And you need the mechanized or battle group. Same thing here, mechanized battle group to have these.
Yeah, but usually as the OKW, you have a first building down like the first few minutes. And the first engagement, you're weaker, but wow, do you have staying power once you upgrade that sucker.
If you get 3 Panzerful Slayers with G43s, they are a pain in the ass to deal with because you can't deploy armor because you get either Panzer Shreks or you get AT grenaded. Yep. They are expensive AT grenades, but not that expensive.
Yeah, I quite. You'll never feel the same satisfaction as
also
getting
the
an
flare.
IS.
The flare is great because you can see things from far, so they're good recon, AT, anti-infantry. They have all the things down, and
I used to like when I had the
This also goes by way for breakthrough.
The ISU 152. I used to feel quite satisfied when I blew up Panzer Grenadiers, but now this time I'm just like, this is wonderful. This is like I murder Panzer Grenadiers and I feel such satisfaction because I know how much of a pain they are.
Yes. And then okay, so this commander also comes with Obosodan for SCG-40 equipped with SCG-44s, but I wouldn't even get these because again the Panzerful Slayers are so good now.
Obosodan are still great. Like
you get free recon, and I use that more recon-ish than
Stuka Smoke is smoke and recon. Let's be quite frank. That's what it does.
Also, Kamikaze units.
Oh yeah, like if the enemy tries to have anti-air, their front lines just get destroyed. I've watched how many things of yours get destroyed just on your streams.
Also, it doesn't say it is, but you get the Panzer Commander, and the big thing is you get a Command Tiger. So this thing costs 630 manpower and 230 fuel. How much does a normal Tiger cost?
I have no idea.
That exact amount. So
to be fair, it is an upgrade.
Yeah. Okay. So the Command Tiger again. So that one Command Tiger, you get minus 25% cooldown, 20% accuracy. For stuff around it, for infantry around it.
It is 15 munitions, so I mean, like, that is like nothing. But no.
And again, then of course it keeps increasing with additional range, then scatter, reload, a combat blitz for OKW. Eventually,
I fear Vet 5 of this thing. Yeah. I fear it so. It is.
And that also affects vehicles. So you get bonuses to all this stuff around it, and it just gets better and better and better.
The thing about the Command Tiger and why I love the special operations so much is the Command Tiger buffs everything.
Yes.
But the downside is it can't affect infantry. Well, here you go. You got something that murders infantry and murders armor. So like it's the best of both worlds, and it just naturally buffs your infantry. Like
and plus if you don't know, the Panzer Commander, because you get a cheap 80 munition artillery call-in. So if you have a group of AT, you can activate this call-in. You don't even need sight. It just activates, and it'll just call down an artillery. Yep. And it'll just help break defenses. Yep. So it's great.
It's not the greatest artillery, but for what it is,
80 munitions isn't bad for what it calls in, and it's armor as well.
Otherwise, some other nice additions.
So what would we call that commander? I would say S tier. Right now it's broken.
Oh yeah, it's. I would say you need to lock this between like
the Tiger needs locked. And Panzerful Slayers, I don't know what you do with them. My general idea would be at the very least, make it 1 CP. So that way they're not immediately deployed. Give it like 2 or 3 minutes where vehicles could stand a chance.
Just give it that extra time, please.
Because the military truck and the scout car for the Soviets has been greatly diminished if you have this out. Now, again, this is a good counter, but that being said, it just shuts down. And again, so hard.
I stress this very hard. The Tiger, the Tiger is a tank that I never thought was good. I always thought the King Tiger was better or the Panther was better in regards to stealing armor. But oh my god, I've seen so many shots bounce off this. I forgot. I was like, did I just naturally forget how good this tank was, or is it just naturally better now? Because either way, it's just good. Yeah. It's just great against everything. I've watched freaking Fireflies bounce off this sucker. I'm just like, how?
But again, this is different than a normal Tiger. This is like 1 step above that, and the Tiger Ace is 1 step above that.
Yeah.
So again, the Tiger Ace, I think in our Axis armor thing we just recently did was like a D or something.
Yeah, now it's an S.
Now it's an S because it's so overpowered. So good job in that regard.
Yeah.
Kubel has been buffed, which is nice. Because,
it also shares veterancy, which is good.
Yep. So that's very, very good. There's sport gun, which looks like it
decrease the veterancy so you can upgrade a little bit faster, which is nice. It was very hard to upgrade.
All right. So no, I think and there's like a couple buffs down here, you can kind of look at that, but overall I think this patch is good. I think the Germans just got a little bit buffed a little too much. I mean sure, if they keep the Tiger how it is, fine, but that's something that if you know the enemy has either of these two doctrines, you must, and this is a certain, you must focus on AT by the 10-minute mark, because when 15 minutes comes and you don't see any Axis armor,
you know
expect tigers.
Except that a storm is coming and it's called Tiger.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to huff and puff and blow your units down real hard. So you might as well be prepared for it if you see no armor. Get AT, get the snares ready, get bazookas, get fireflies, get SU-85s. Get the line ready.
And Panzerfusiliers, I don't know what you would do with them. I feel like you either go... They're too good in both varieties, I would say.
I think you just need to... I think you just
make them either a little more expensive.
Just maybe like a tweak less. Just give them like...
or a little bit later to deploy. Something like that, because I think they just are too potent for what they are.
Again, it's still very early. Because, like, there's still other, like, units, like PPSHs, you get them close range. They're shredded. Yeah. They're done. But, like, they can't really fight in close range. But, yeah, long-range firepower, they can really shred. And we all remember how the British were at the very beginning of the game when they had the range.
Change the conscript or change the guards. Because my testing, they were fine. They didn't overperform. They didn't do anything major. It seems like they would be OP, but they're really not. They're still infantry.
No, because
it's essentially equivalent to, like, a shock troop or something. You can counter it pretty easily if you know what you're doing. So the big thing about Panzerfusiliers is they're so good in so many different avenues. It just makes it hard to deal with.
Yeah. But in any case, guys, that is our review of the new patch/commander update. So let us know in the comments your thoughts. Are we wrong? Is the British secretly the most powerful commander in the game? The new one? Oh, God.
Everyone else is like, here's an amazing commander, crap, amazing commander.
Yeah.
But, again, if better for 1v1s, I get it. But me in a 3v3, 4v4 environment, it's no use.
Yeah.
But thanks for watching. This has been Greyshot17
and Greyshot151.
And we'll see you guys next time.
Later.
Hello everyone, I want to give a special shout out to Patreon supporters Milam, Ace, Chris Bailey, Javi, Jfoe, Joey240, Josh, JP Vaal, jrchicklis, Little Koosh, Mustache, Onlyplayapples, PyroShark, Rifle, Sebastian, Marszalek, Sergeant McPain, Streakingwookie, WhiteHodD, GTA, Jakub, Ocwieja, Nathan, Angus, and of course Tim. Thank you guys so much for your amazing support. This has been Greyshot17 and my amazing patrons, and I'll see you guys next time.